Okay, here's a pretty typical problem using mid-segments. It said UW and V are midpoints, so I've marked it on there to show where the V is the midpoint, and it's got the two segments on each side are the same. And UW is the same as each of those segments, because we know that the third side that's parallel to the mid-segment UW is got to be twice its length. So we need to ask ourselves, which one's longer? YZ, we have a relationship between YZ and UW. Okay? And what I always do is say this, which one's longer? This one's longer. This one's the shorter one. So how do I make the shorter one longer? Well, I can either multiply the shorter one by 2 or cut the longer one in half. And it's usually easier to multiply by 2. So I'm going to run out of space, so I'm going to put times 2 here. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I can solve the problem. So remember, to get to the short piece to be longer, to make the short piece longer, we can multiply by 2. Or we can take the long piece and multiply by half, which is the same as dividing by 2. And then you'll have the long piece reduced to the short piece. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we go here, UW, they said is 4x minus 1. And then we're going to times it by 2. And that's going to equal to YZ, which is 5x plus 4. So I'm going to get 8x minus 2, 5x plus 4. Subtract 5x. Add 2 to both sides. Good night. Good night. 6 equals 3x. X equals 2. So the question asks you to find UW. So we know UW equals 4 times 2 minus 1. UW is 8 minus 1, which is 7. That answers number 9. Well, it turns out YV is the same length. So YV equals 7 because YV plus the other side VZ has to be double 7. There we go.